Y'all, I have been on an amazing journey. My name is Debs, also known as the Silence Lesbian, folks. If this is your first time to my channel, I welcome you in. It's my first time to my channel too. So if you're here, you could consider yourself an OG follower now. So when I get really big and famous, y'all can say I was there from the jump. Let me stop. Listen, I don't want them already starting to say I'm a grifter before I even start on YouTube. Y'all, that'd be a bad look for me. Anywho.
4 or 5 years ago, I was on the scene doing a lot of activism, and now I'm back. I'm starting a YouTube because things just aren't getting better. Still the same. We still don't know how to define what a woman is. We don't know how to define what a lesbian is. We don't know what a queer is. They're still trying to cut off children's breasts. We're still using inclusion as a justification to try to medicalize children. Not a lot's changed here. We're still wanting to separate the L and the G and the B, which we have. I'm pretty sure LGBT International actually already did that. It was 19 country representatives worldwide that said, we are not going to be part of your madness anymore. Me and my friend, we've been diving in, Voices with Vicky, you can go check her out. We've been diving into the Queer Manifesto, the Queer Nation Manifesto that was handed out in 1990 at the New York City Pride Parade. And you guys, it literally is a political identity. The Reclamation was a political identity. And people are not aware of that, friends. They just don't realize a lot of these people that are identifying as queers, the ones that say it's an umbrella term and it's for anyone who identifies outside of heteronormativity. It's like, honey, you don't even know the origins. You don't know where this began. You don't know what the Reclamation even meant. In my opinion, it allowed an opportunity for billionaires to come in and fund this nefarious movement. Queer Nation was like this soft opening, essentially, where it's like, yeah, we are a political movement. Yeah, we're angry. Yeah, we need funding, thanks. And which started as a grassroots movement, turned into this the today. Which, yeah. Anyway, so we read the Queer Manifesto. We were checking it out, and we're just appalled, right? And I'm like, yeah. My friend was like, listen, you gotta get out there on YouTube. And I've had this channel for a minute, y'all. I've had it for a minute. Never did any videos. Didn't want to put anything up because I'm like, who is really gonna sit here and have me yimmer and yapperson for 10 whole minutes, right? Because I yap. I'm a yapper. You know what I mean? I'm going to probably edit, chop, clip, alter, delete just to put out the first video because I'm just yimmer. But I feel like I offer a different approach, right? Because I'm not an extreme person. I'm not a far leftist. I'm not a far right. I do offer this middle approach to where I'm trying to bridge the divide of our differences by focusing on our commonalities so we can actually find solutions for these things, because it's important for us to find these solutions. Now, don't get it twisted, though. The reality is that I know that not everyone can sit here and have a conversation. I see it every day on TikTok when I go out there and I do live discussions. There are people that are open and receptive and want to have those thought-provoking conversations, as to other people just want to be like, you fat dyke, we hate you, you're a horrible person. Same-sex attraction is hated on from both sides, y'all. We got the far left that's like, everyone's a lesbian, including men. And then we have the far right that's like, you're gonna burn in hell. So we have both versions of homophobia showing up in our face, unapologetic. And I feel like there's so much chaos that we as homosexuals have to band together. We have to speak out. We have to say something. We have to say, this is not okay. We're not okay with this. This is why we're not okay with this. And start implementing actual tools as opposed to just running our yimmers, right? We actually have to show up and do something, create change. And how do we create that change? The problem that I'm having, the biggest problem I'm having, is that when I talk to people that are younger in the community, they want to shut us out. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about the history. They don't want to listen. They just want to silence us as elders. They're not interested, right, in the things that we have to say. What we need to understand is that we have to be able and capable of taking accountability. When we're looking back on our history and we're saying things like, that's we shouldn't have done that, or like we shouldn't have maybe not been trying to talk to kids about Rainbow Kids curriculum. Maybe we shouldn't have been trying to, dance provocatively in the streets, or perhaps cut off the breast of healthy children. We need to be able to take accountability for the parts and roles
that we created. Like, a lot of this stuff is because of us. I used to fight against that a lot. I'm like, no, it's all these queer folks and they infiltrated and it was them that did this. But if we go back and we follow the history, what allowed them to be able to come in was how we as homosexuals were showing up. It's what we allowed as a community. So there has to be accountability as a homosexual and say, yeah, I probably should have let that fly. This should have been, we should have done something. We should have stepped up. And that's why so many of us are stepping up in such a profound way right now. Why many of us are starting YouTube channels. Why many of us are doing debate spaces. Why many of us are going to college campuses. Why people are doing interviews on the street. Because we realize that this is insane. For the past 10 years, we should have been focused on how to deal with homophobia, helping people understand that you did nothing wrong by being a homosexual, that you weren't a bad parent if your kid was gay, right? But instead of us actually like fighting real homophobia, we've been fighting men in dresses that want to be little girls. So I find it frustrating that we as homosexuals are just standing idly by and allowing these colonizers, which is the gender queer folks, to appropriate and hijack the very community that we built stone by stone, or perhaps parking meter by parking meter. If you know, you know. We have so much revisionism, speaking of parking meters, we have so much revisionism within our history that I find myself on social media constantly talking about Marsha P. Johnson and Malcolm and how he said he was a transvestite, what meant a cross-dresser. And when we were talking about trans people, even back in the day, we were not talking about transsexuals. We weren't even talking about transgenders. We were talking about transvestites, cross-dressers, effeminate men. Y'all, in conclusion, I'm excited. We are going to deep dive into Queer Nation. We're going to deep dive into these ideologies. We're going to take accountability along the way. We're going to create tools along the way. And together, we're going to go on a journey. Because everything that I learn, I'm going to share with you. And as I learn more, when videos are created and I say one thing and I find out later down the road that's not what really happened, I'm going to be the person that's going to come up on here and I'm going to say, we were wrong. I was wrong. Made a mistake. So I'm excited for this journey. I'm excited to have you as a subscriber. I'm excited for the things that we're going to learn together. But more importantly, I'm excited that I actually did the damn thing. I started a podcast. I started a YouTube. Yay, slay. So if you want to see more of me and you're excited to see more of me and want to deep dive into the LGB and more, then hit the subscribe button. That way you never miss a beat. And I believe you get a little notification bell. And it's like, come now. The lesbian is giving new ideas and she's speaking to your soul and it's calling to you. So I'm calling to you to subscribe. Bye for now.